Todd Hampson here, and I've been recording a bunch of shorts about Christmas verses that were fulfilled in the first coming of Christ, Messianic prophecies. This one goes a little bit further down. It's not so much related to the birth of Christ, but his ministry. And I just want to unpack this really briefly. There's a scene that you find in Luke 4 where Jesus went into the synagogue, grabbed the scroll of Isaiah, asked them to bring it to him, unrolled it to Isaiah 61. There were no chapters and verses in Jesus' time, but we know from what he read that it's from Isaiah 61. And here's what he read. He read, actually, I'll read Isaiah 61 directly in a minute, but the last thing he read from Isaiah 61 was that he has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. And then verse 20 is key. It says, then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone were on him. He began by saying, today this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing. In other words, I am the Messiah. I am the guy that's here to do this. But here's the really interesting thing. Jesus, when he stopped reading and rolled the scroll back up, he left it hanging. He literally stopped mid-sentence. And here's the full sentence of what he read. To proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God. In other words, Jesus was saying, without saying it overtly, I'm here right now for the first coming when I'm proclaiming the gospel, the good news of the gospel. It literally says in 61:1 to proclaim the good news. But what he's saying without saying it is, but there's coming a future time when I'm coming to fulfill that second part, when God's vengeance falls on the nations in the future 7-year tribulation period at the time of my second coming. So all throughout scripture, even this early on in his ministry, without him saying it, without Paul unpacking it, or the other disciples unpacking it, Jesus has given us hints early on that he knew he would have a first coming and a second coming. First coming to proclaim the good news, second coming to judge the world and issue in the millennial kingdom. So anyway, a lot of interesting stuff, a lot more to unpack with that, but I wanted to just whet your appetite. Go check out the long video for this. I unpack it a little bit more. And also be sure to like, share, subscribe, and send this to anybody you think might be encouraged by it. And have a great Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.